I did not plan to come back. I do not necessarily want to come back. Oh, it's A. Shit. It's not. It's A, not B. A. I didn't necessarily. I was ready to like. I just took Tango out. I was gonna relax, take the dog out, go chase down some food, and then just play it safe for the rest of the night. Here I am, guys. Can't leave. Let's read the patch. Okay, here we go. General changes. Neutral drops will now always drop only 3 items per tier rather than having a chance to get more. So that means if you like crazy jungle, you can only get up to 3 items per tier. That should mean that searching for the item that you want is lower chances. It does put some RNG into the game in some ways, but I mean, your chance of that dropping go down really low anyways if you get enough drops. Neutral drops no longer have an end period in terms of when they can drop. They just start a start period. So, for example, if you don't jungle for the first 25 minutes of the game, that means you can still drop your tier 1 items eventually. It's just that you're going to drop the later tier items first. The higher tier items will always roll first. So if you don't jungle till 70 minutes, you're going to drop 3 tier 5 items in a row, and then I assume 3 tier 4s, 3 tier 3s, 2 tier 2s. 3 tier 2s. There we go. All right, and then neutral drop rate change. This is the percentage chance to drop. 10, 5, 2.5, 1.5 down to 963. So that means the slight reduction in the first item that drops, slight increase to second, and big increase to the third. So getting your third item comes a lot quicker, neutral wise. Okay. Item changes. Iron Talon cooldown is increased by 5 seconds. Iron Talon's actually pretty solid. You can replace it. I don't remember what tier. Oh, it's a tier 1. Okay. Pretty solid item. 2 armor. It's a 2 armor quelling blade, which is nice, and you can use it to kill neutrals a little bit quicker. Does it do slightly more damage? Yeah, it looks like it does slightly more damage than a quelling blade does. So a little buff there. Ocean Heart pretty nerfed in terms of the regen. It was really busted when I played it with Slardar the other night. So I think it's fine that they reduced the regen. And like 5 mana regen is like kind of insane. So 6 and 3 is a lot more fair, I think. Buffing it up to 5 attributes is a nice compensation, because the item is like kind of garbage otherwise. It's like really good when you're in the river, but if you're not in the river, it's not very good. It's only 4 stats. 5 stats is a lot more fair, I think. Keen Optic, a little bit less mana regen. I think that's fair. It's a lot of mana. 1.5 was like kind of insane for what it gives for a tier 1 item. Repair Kit moved to tier 3. I'm actually pretty happy with that, because dropping this early on in the game kind of felt bad. It was like, shit, I actually want an item that actually did something, you know? But generally, this item is going to be used more at the tier 3 part of the game, where like you have tier 2s and tier 3s dying. So I think delaying it to tier 3 is completely reasonable. Helm of the Undying being shifted up, I think, is also probably fine. 6 armor is a nice passive. I haven't really felt like the item's really that obnoxious. I mean, it's the same as what Wraith King ulti. It doesn't bother me that much, I don't think, because half the time you can just disable it anyways. Saw PPT's tweet that they removed this. It's just gone now. No more Toma Vagnum. So now when neutral, they need some new items that they can put this back in. It was good. I used it a few times. It's like okay, but it wasn't like incredible. They probably are removing it because it's a little bit weird. Maybe there's some examples where it just broke the game too much. But in my I haven't been checking Reddit, so maybe there's some examples where it was way too good. But it probably made the game a little finicky. It's like a very RNG kind of. Imp Claw, critical strike reduced, and the damage increase. I think that's fine. Playing against Imp Claw against certain heroes is really obnoxious. Against the Morphling Earthshaker was the one game that was really obnoxious. So it's a 40% damage bonus, but it does 2 more damage. That's fine. That means it's going to be slightly less busted for the combos where it does work. Vambrace moved from tier 3 to tier 2. I actually really expected... I was not... I was really disappointed with Vambrace. I thought it was bad. It being a tier 3 item, I was like, why would I want this at this point? So late in the game, It gave me like, what, 2 bracers put together? It's like so mediocre. Stats lowered to just the components of the recipe. So it has like, what, 2 less of all stats or something like that. This makes a lot more sense though. This is tier 2 makes a lot more sense for this item. I was surprised it wasn't there. I haven't used Clumsy Net myself as other people have. Moving to tier 2 I think is fine. They lowered the mana regen a bit. This could be really obnoxious to play against if you're like an anti-mage kind of a thing. If enemy teams get Clumsy Nets. But at a right time. Tier 2 is when? 15 to 25? Is that correct? Can't remember. Something like that, I think. Yeah. 5, 15, 25, 40. So 15 to 25 period is tier 2. That's probably fair. Mind Break or Mana Break reduced from 30 to 20, and the magic resistance has gone up. Mana Steal now only has half effect on creeps. It's probably fair. 25 magic resistance is going to make a lot better. I liked one game, my Gyro bought it, and we were against like a Naga or a PL or something who was mana draining, so it was like a good way for him to have mana drain back to keep his mana full. 25 magic resistance is a huge amount though. Diffusal Blade does 50 mana break. This is going to do 20, but again, you get it back. Maybe it's just too good because you could keep your mana stupidly full all the time on creeps. But it's probably fine. Sword looks really cool though. It's kind of like a Shadow Blade. Timeless Relic. Yeah, this needed to happen, I think. The debuff duration amp was like way too good on some heroes. 35 was insane. Unlike like AA in game earlier today, he had Scythe of Ice, and he was 25, so he had Cold Feet. It would be really could do this without it. If he had Scythe of Ice and Timeless Relic, you could use Scythe of Ice and then Cold Feet and guarantee a Cold Feet follow up. So just by having an expensive item, Scythe of Ice, and having Timeless Relic, he could guarantee like it's like an 8-second stun or something. So removing or reducing the debuff, the debuff percentage was just like way too good on some heroes. I think this is super fine. It's like it's obnoxious playing against Rubik already. Having it be just an item that appears was a little bit crazy. I didn't realize it was tier 4 though, but it makes sense. But anyways, upping the spell amp to 15 makes me happy because in some of the games that I had it was like the debuff was like okay but not incredible, and the spell amp I was like I wish it was higher. Like when I played Skywrath Mage last night, I wished the spell amp was higher. I think 15 is good. What's up? Oh, thanks. Well, I don't want to mess up where everything is positioned. Nope. That's not what I wanted to show. Alright, I'll just move it. Okay. Okay, Witless Shaco now provides plus 1000 health and minus 400 mana. I think that makes sense. The item seemed not really that great before. It like burning like your raw mana just felt very... Your max mana based on a percentage felt kind of weird. But now it's just like raw health and minus 400 mana. So it's like a more straightforward decision to make. A lot of interiors are going to be really happy with this now. But a couple of times in this drop day, I was like, I don't really want to use this. Spell Prism no longer has an active. Now provides 20% cooldown, plus 12 all stats and 4 mana regen. A few times I got this, or saw it, I was like, eh. It was an 80-second cooldown. Now it's just, it's items and spells. Oh, that's normal, right? That's all cooldown reduction. But it's basically a 20% cooldown reduction item now, which is very good. It's like an Octarine core. But yeah, this item was not very good. It didn't feel good to get. But considering that you can only drop 3 items now, they kind of have a responsibility to make all items of the same tier like pretty decent. Which I guess they kind of did anyways, right? Because if you would drop a crappy tier of that and they didn't, your chance of getting the next one it would take time. So like there's a timing window there that was abusable. But this is pretty good. It's like it's basically an Octarine core. A little bit straightforward, but it's still fine. Now my face is blocking this. Why don't I just gonna ruin all of my overlays. Illusionist Cape now increases damage of your player controlled units as well. Okay. Basically makes it better for if you don't have illusions on your team. Because if you drop this item and you don't have any illusions on your team, it would feel really bad. So summons would be, I mean 10% is not that much, but if you're like a Beastmaster or something or a Chen, you could use this item, which is fine. Leveler no longer has cleave or splash effect. Guess they thought it was too good. And it did seem quite good. Now has plus 25% demolish. It means bonus damage against buildings. So now it's like a sieging weapon, which is probably fine. For a late game item like cleave and stuff like that were useful, but not like the biggest thing in the world. Maybe it was like too busted against like illusion heroes too. Seer Stone. Cast range decrease, vision range reduce heavily, which is probably fair. 800 is like insane. Vision bonus. 450 cast range is like incredible too. Oh, it's a tier 5 item. That makes sense. Mirror Shield. Thank God. That item looks insane, dude. It looks so insane. No longer has a 75% chance to reflect spells. Instead has a 4-second cooldown. So it's basically a 4-second Lotus Orb Linkens, which is way safer and fair. Because like people getting this item in an ultra late game situation is just crazy. It's like how do you choose when to cast spells on somebody if there's a 3 out of 4 chance that it just gets reflected? Somebody got one of these in that long game that we played earlier today. But I didn't notice it. I'm sure I stunned myself or used spells on myself. But Woodland Striders, more regen. It's a tooltip error. It's not 70% HP regen. It's plus 70 HP regen. Yeah, again with tree walking. Book of the Dead. Haven't seen this in a game yet. They increased the cooldown, so it's not permanent now. It used to be more than permanent. Now it's not permanent. Fixed previous summons not disappearing, so it's bugged as well. Yeah, this is the only like ultra late game item I've seen. Tier 5, I think. Maybe that's not true. No, and there was one in our game. I didn't see it get used, but the one that lets you refresh your items. We had that one on our team. Phoenix Sash no longer gives 30 stats. What did it do again? Lethal damage prevented instead, whereas healed, it used to heal to full health. And it gave plus 30 stats, which is insane. But then it goes away after you eat it. Now it's basically just an Aegis. The health restore goes to 50 and refreshes your non-ultimate abilities upon triggering. Okay. So it's like a half refresher, half Aegis. Maybe it's too good before. 30 plus 30 L stats is like insane. Okay. Anti-Mage getting nerfs to mana break. I saw his win rate was like really, really high. What they're basically going to be doing is going through and checking all the win rates of heroes before they get out of hand in like ruin pubs because people pick them all the time because they're good. But yeah, mana break reduced by a bunch because he still does percentage based mana burn, so that should hurt his trading. It should basically it'll hurt him the most in the laning, like the early game, early and mid game, before people's max manas get really big. Base mana regen increased for CM. There's less mana going to teammates at all levels though. This gets doubled for her though, so this actually is, no, it's still equal. It actually makes her better at level 1 is another cool thing. This is something I didn't think about till I played her the other day, but she's better at level 1 now because she's got all this base mana regen extra. So you basically have Arcane Aura at level 1 in some ways, you could argue, on Crystal Maiden now. But yeah, for everybody else on your team, you're not getting as much mana in the game. The magic resistance reduced slightly, just by like it's slightly better at 1 point though, just not as good late game. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but probably helps. I don't know. It's such a tiny ass number. It's like, why is this here? Is what I keep thinking. It's like 8% magic resistance. I don't know. Draw Ranger, multi-shot cooldown reduce. That's the hero I haven't gotten a chance to try. I mean, it looks garbage at level 1, so I'm not surprised it's been buffed slightly. Marksmanship aura increased. What is this again? Oh, the agility bonus that you give to your allies nearby. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hooray!
Buffed by 5. And then marksmanship damage increased as well. That's when it procs. That's how much damage it does. So these are basically just big buffs to draw, which kind of makes sense because she did seem a little mediocre lane-wise. So buffs to her. Lone Druid gonna get some nerfs, I assume. He felt good to me. Maybe not broken. Like lane-wise, maybe it's just the game that I played Ricky, but nerfs to the BAT here. And nerfs to the 25 talent. That one was probably insane. 0.5 is like bonkers. Your bear would probably attack so fast. Not to mention that you could get there pretty quick. It is a shame I didn't get a chance to play it first. But yeah, like 0 Entangle cooldown and then getting into that 25 talent. It was probably ridiculous attack speed. BAT was increased? Yeah, you don't want your BAT increased. That's a nerf. BAT increase is bad. That's your base attack time. That's how much time it takes to attack. Or how often you can attack. So a bigger number is bad. Lower number is better. That's why the talent reduces it. More fling, intelligence changed. More base int, more int gain. Base strength increased. And attribute stats. So basically just across the board buffs to more fling. Did they nerf him too much? That's what it seems like, apparently. I don't even remember the nerfs to the hero. Oh, that's right. More mana. Your mana would be the same when you morph. So they probably basically removed your ultimate from being effective. Is probably what happened. It was probably way too... That's part of the reason they have to increase his int gain now. Is because like if you don't have enough int yourself, even just like waveforming in and casting Morphling or Adaptive Strike before you transform is burning your mana pool entirely. So he needs more int gain to compensate. But this is also 4 bonus strength, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's actually 4 bonus strength at the start of the game. It's pretty huge. 2 bonus int. Not bad. Buffing the 10 talent that most people don't get. They get waveform range usually. OD getting some buffs. He's probably bad after the way they changed him. Int increased, int gain increased. Strength and strength gain both buffed. Sanity's Eclipse mana per charge increased. And what does that do again? Oh, that's right. The charge buffs that you had from like hitting people. Okay, increases max mana, which happens when you have your ultimate skilled and when you hit them with your orb or astral people. So basically you gain more mana pool now than you did before by 10. And the multiplier's gone up as well. So Razor level 10 talent nerfed from 15 to 10 agility. And Eye of the Storm passive shock damage reduced down to 60. Snapfire getting some buffs, it seems. She didn't seem that good, I guess. So it makes sense she's getting buffed. Base armor up by 2. That's pretty huge because she's a strength hero. Strength gain buffed a huge amount. Wow. That's a huge jump. 1 extra strength per level. Fire Snap cookie cast range goes up. Stun duration buffs at all levels. Scales by 0.3 per level instead. 8. You throwing up? Don't throw up. Cast range increase being is pretty nice though. 500 is like you have to be pretty close, but now you can actually use it for initiators that aren't necessarily next to you. Little Shredder fixed damage per shot increase, so it's just 15 better per level. That's a huge buff. That's 6. That's 6 of these things. So now it does 90 times 3. It's kind of insane. 180, 270 physical on a 24-second cooldown. That shit's amazing. Her cookie can save people inside Chrono to push them out. That's cool. Mortimer Marcus's damage increased. And the slow has gone up. I'm not too surprised about the slow. And the reduced minimum travel time from 1 to 0.8 and the max travel time from 2.5 to 2. So it's it'll be easier to shoot it basically. The slow is pretty big though, I think. I mean, I get hit by these usually, but I run out of the way typically. But this damage increase is going to be really big. It's going to make her laning significantly better. Her cooldowns are still really long though. That's the biggest hurt of her. So like early game, 24 seconds on everything is like kind of yikes. Undying Flesh Golem slow is buffed by 10 points at all levels. And the Strength Golem, the Flesh Golem multiplier has gone up by 10. So Flesh Golem better. Ursa base armor reduced by 1. Okay. And Earthshock slow is super nerfed at level 1. 10% because of the jump forward. Enrage cooldown increased. So just straight up Ursa getting the bat. I guess I saw Arteezy's tweet about it. But maybe he was too good. Ursa was insane. Okay. I don't think I played against an Ursa, honestly. Alright, Venge. Base agility reduced. Venge had a really high win rate, I saw, after I complained about Venge Eggs. Base agility reduced by 7. Base damage doesn't change. Vengeance aura attack range bonus is less now. Scales by 30 per level instead of 40 per level. And the 20 talent reduced. The illusion cast spells talent is now at 25, unfortunately. And the plus 200 magic missile damage is replaced, so I don't know. I'm kind of upset about this because I was enjoying playing Venge with Ags, but the playstyle is gone now. It's literally patched out, which makes me kind of upset because I genuinely enjoyed doing that. And they just kind of removed it in favor of what? A different Vengeance aura, which in some ways is fine because it does make the core hero make more sense. Like it combos well with Wave of Terror. It makes Wave of Terror make more sense. It like plays to your hero's playstyle. You're supposed to be like a buffing your team, swapping allies to save them. But I did like the Ags combo, like the Ags with illusion thing. I thought that was fun. It's gone now though. You can't really do it anymore. You can do it when you hit 25, but I don't know. It's just it's a 25 talent. It's not an all game thing anymore. I guess that aspect is fine. You can still get your magic missile damage. Please. I'm going to get off soon. It's a patch. I got to do it. In fact, we're almost done, Tango. I guess on the bright side, you can get your magic missile to be low cooldown pretty quick. You've got the 15 talent to the left. That puts it down to 5.5 seconds. And then the magic missile damage at 20 as well if you want it. That puts the damage up to 5.25, which is okay. It's not incredible. I stopped touching your head for a second and you scratched my chair? My God, she's being a little brat tonight. So, anyways, the Ags playstyle is gone. Ags is garbage. It's fucking garbage right now. But the aura is good. It's definitely very good on a lot of ranged heroes. It increases your teammates' damage with stats. It increases their their attack range, which keeps them safer. Makes you less necessary. It doesn't mean that you don't have to necessarily ulti as often. But buying an Ags on Venge is a fucking waste of money, unless you're a 5, I think. So that is my view on Venge right now. I am sad. I'm a fan of Venge. I don't really like playing it that way. And the other problem is that like her laning is still kind of garbage anyways. It's still not very good. But at least you can give your carry 4 primary attribute, I guess. I don't know. She'll get there, I guess. Void Spirit strength gain increased, okay. Astral Step, that's the ultimate. Cast point reduced by 0.2 seconds, so you can cast it faster now. And the cast range is increased, so they actually buffed the hero. I'm a little surprised. I guess he's not incredible. When Cap played him, he seemed good. But the average pub seems to be having trouble. He's having trouble like becoming, like doing good things at some point.
Step from the void's embrace.
Like he's got a pretty good amount of damage. He's good with levels. He's obnoxious and he can run away, but he never really feels like, he doesn't like just blow you up that much is what it feels like. So I don't know, maybe it did need to be buffed. Probably fine. Let me check. I want to see Ursa's win rate. Who's the Void Spirit 45? But he's new, so it could really change a lot. Oops, that was upside down. Really? Tree's doing well? Okay. Felt really bad about Tree the first day. Yeah, Venge's win rate was pretty good. PL jumping up, IO jumping up a lot. Less for Meepo. I mean, there's only been like... Are these multiple data points? Or do they all say the same day? Oh, they're all Wednesdays. Okay. I'm dumb. So these should be the win rates for today. Was Ursa really that crazy? Were they really that crazy? I don't know. They obviously Valve is gonna have much better data than me using Dota Plus. I'm sure they put a lot more effort into their metrics than Dota Plus. See the daily change on the individual here? Okay.
The great confluence of
Ursa.
time finally comes.
I'm curious about Lone Druid.
No threat shall stand before me. The map of all of
Pretty huge difference for Lone Druid. I did expect his to be higher. Tango, I'm almost done, I swear to God.
I defend what is mine.
Yeah, Ursa jumped quite a bit. Okay, 60%. That's pretty high. I mean, Ursa's kind of just always strong. That might be part of it, that he's just good at fighting kind of all the time. So he can show up to all these engagements. Not to mention he lanes pretty well. People can't buy items in the side shop either. So it's harder to catch up once you're losing the lane. That probably makes a big difference. Like if he gets a kill or two and gets items out, like a boots, and you have a movement speed advantage. Also, you can start Orb of Venom. That's the other thing. You can start Orb of Venom realistically as Ursa. So if you start Orb of Venom without being ultra punished by it, you can start Orb in like multiple sets of regen. Don't get quelling. Use Fury Swipes to double hit. Not that Fury Swipes gives you 8 damage anyways for last hitting, but it's probably the Orb of Venom advantage is why Ursa is so good in lane. And then the follow-up items. Your items come quickly. And if you just keep getting kills. Feels like kills are like really beneficial in the laning stage for the amount of gold you get. But maybe that's just a couple examples. Yeah, Spectre was effectively untouched.
Gunpowder justice.
Sniper having a bad time. I think the 20 talent change probably hurt him a lot. They like really hurt his ability to use ulti without buying Ags, and nobody wants to buy Ags probably, so.
If I'd known I'd end up
Slark,
here,
slight
I'd have
buffs.
stayed in dark.
What about Ricky?
I speak softly.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised to see the big drop off. He felt really, really garbage in lane. And then later on it felt a little bit better, but I got Smokescreen cooldown today when I played him. but it kind of felt, I felt like I had to do it. Yeah, this one definitely looked better. I don't know if these are correct though. Who else did I want to check? I know AM's win rate went up a lot. No, never mind. Maybe not that incredible. His overall pub win rate went up a lot though. Viper got worse. But Viper was kind of good before. Not too surprising.
Shady lanes and sunny
Enchant
glades await.
gets a buff a little bit. Is that about it? Invoker is so smooth now. Yeah. He's probably a lot worse. Viper got worse but genuinely stronger. That's probably true. I could see that. He's just going to be a little bit... I think maybe not. I maybe don't agree because Nether Toxin is not a spammable. You have to be really careful how you use it now. But... like, you can't just toss them all over the place to break everybody, you know? That was like a really nice thing. I'd throw Nether Toxin out and then all of a sudden I'm in trouble. I'm like, oh shit, I need to break on top of me. I throw another one. You can't do that anymore. I would guess he's in some ways better, but Poison Attack was way easier to just fire and forget. Now there has to be like concerted effort. I think he's got to be worse now. But there's a lot of items that give you like raw HP and stuff, so I could certainly see some like... there could be some build out there that's going to make it work. Like Viper with a lot of like tier 1 items is like insane actually. Just raw stat items is what he needs, so the fact that you can get it from just tier 1 items could really make him valuable. Yeah, channeling tier 1 items in this guy is how you win the game, I think. In 25 attack speed is probably better now than spell lifesteal, for sure. Just because of applying more poison attacks. Attack range is going to be way better now. Like he's literally going to be a right clicker now. Yeah, this is not surprising either. He's a right clicker now, guys. So once people start building him the right way, we'll probably see his win rate jump. They have to adjust. It's hard to like change your item builds completely. What position is Viper now? Probably still a 2. He needs levels a little bit too much to put him in side lanes, I think.
Light of foot, light of heart.
And his skills aren't like really valuable with 1 skill point right now. Maybe you could side lane him with poison attack, but I can't imagine it's great. Who else? Yikes, Crystal Maiden's win rate has gone up quite a bit. So I guess she did need some nerfs. I mean, the magic resistance might not seem like a lot 10, but it probably does make a really big difference over the course of a game. I just don't like it from a thematic perspective. It's like, why put such a tiny little number in, you know? I forgot about the Wraith King changes. It's like it literally hasn't changed much for him. What's it do again? Vampire Core or Lifesteal is worse early, but it gives you damage. Is that the only change? I think. Razor win rate.
With Razor.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump. All right. Yes, Razor definitely a good pick. I kind of figured he would become good. Nobody's ever picked 10 agility? I mean, you're putting focus fire on a Razor. It's gonna be good. Okay. All right. I'm actually leaving this time. I'm not coming back. If there's another patch, I'm not coming. I'm gonna go eat food and relax. It's 9 p.m. I streamed all day. Goodbye. Wait, first I need to fix my overlays now that I've ruined them for this patch. Damn, everybody's playing Tree. I thought Tree was garbage, but maybe I'm just garbage. It was like my first couple of games. I didn't buy that many items. I need to buy like more bracers and things like that. Aha, see? He's dead. Told you guys. He's done approximately the skill build that I anticipated. Anyways. This goes here. This goes here. Might have to do the fine layout.
To a future of grief.
Sure, that looks fun.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yo, they are getting stomped right now.
Agents of the void.
Oh, Mystic Madness makes sense. Gunnar has 19 kills and 0 deaths. Go Gunnar.
For the twins.
0 stacking is pretty good. Strength gain's really high now. Veil for bonus damage, Spirit Vessel.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
You know, in the past when new heroes would come out, they wouldn't add them to Captain's Mode right away, but is that just happening right away this time?
Under attack.
I'm down to see it. Yashikai. Now, his purchase here, you could maybe just see as, like, kind of irrelevant because he's so far ahead that maybe it doesn't matter, but still gives you some thoughts to his reasoning. Movement speed, spell, amp, mana cost. These make sense. It doesn't make sense to get Tranquils anymore, really.
Quite a slow.
Nice, they got an Ironwood tree. MSS can use that later. God. Damage is insane. Is tree really that good? I just can't believe that he's that good. Let's right in the slowest regen rate. Now with this already giving, you know what, I wonder if they put this on Poison Sting, the HP regen reduction, to help you not have to buy a Spirit Vessel, actually. I didn't think about that during the patch stream, but that's definitely a fair point. Because if somebody has a lot of regen, it kind of counters what your whole gist is, but if you're getting half of that just naturally, do you really need to rush the Spirit Vessel? I don't necessarily think so. Maybe Ag's Venom is back on the menu? I know they stack. You can do 2 from your hero. Poison Sting from your hero and 1 from your wards. That's cool.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There we go. There's a support lifestealer that's doing it right, guys. They buy Ags. I don't know why people weren't doing this more.
This pleases the master.
If they're going to play it as a support. Because now you can use Rage. Anything else? Reduces the Infest cooldown. 20 seconds. That's pretty good. Increases cast range of Infest. Kind of like this on Bloodseeker. It's like actually a better game for picking it, I think. And am I just wrong and lifesteal support is the thing? I'm sad. People are doing enough now where it must be decent. Really using it to beat like tree and stuff. Is jungle fixed now? It wasn't really broken ever. So I'm confused what you mean, but
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
regen, heal, and lifesteal. It's pretty good on Tide. The game is like extremely over.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle
I don't think I've gotten a single trusty shovel yet on my team. I haven't seen one at least. Alright, I'm leaving. Goodbye. What a great patch. Tango, you sound stressed out. Do you want me to get off the stream? Okay. Alright, I'm leaving. Goodbye.